Well, Long Beach is a city of almost 500,000 people and over 50 separate neighborhoods, and each one of those neighborhoods has a separate identity. And those neighborhoods need to be understood in all of their various aspects. I think Doug really understands that, and he understands how those neighborhoods all fit into the fabric of a great city. Sometimes we've heard from people up north that they're the forgotten district, or people in various parts of the city that their needs are not considered. Well, I think that Doug is the perfect candidate to consider all of those needs and weave those needs into a fine tapestry and ultimately a fine city. Well, he has always been heavily involved in causes, all of which were important for the growth of the city and the welfare of the city, not the least of which has been the Aquarium of the Pacific, which basically we both started together there as I was city manager and he was on the founding board, and basically that institution has now come from about 1 million visitors a year to 1.5 million and is recognized as one of the fine aquariums in the world. And I think some measure of that credit should go to Doug, because he has had a great hand in the planning for that aquarium's future. One of Doug's fortes has always been to gather people, many of whom might disagree on a certain subject, and in the course of discussion, bring them from their opposing points of view into a consensus. He's been extraordinary at that, and that was one of the reasons that I asked him to chair that downtown business committee for me when I was city manager. Well, I've known Doug for probably 30 years, at times when he was heavily involved in the strategic planning process for the city, and also his early tenure on the board of directors for the Aquarium of the Pacific. And he chaired the downtown business task force for me when I was city manager. So he has a real knowledge of strategic planning and the importance of strategic planning in the life of any city, and I'm convinced that Doug understands where this city has been, and you have to know where it's been in order to understand where you're going, and I believe Doug does just that. Like I said, I've known Doug for 30 years, and he's one of the few people in my life I can say I wish I'd known him longer.